Good morning. We are Wrestling Maniacs. This is a new series here on the We Are Wrestling channel, Hot Takes. Every Sunday, I'm going to be on here, usually morning, early afternoon, and I'm going to be covering 3 hot takes for this week in the wrestling community. But before we get into that, what is going on? We are Wrestling Maniacs. It's the best one, Donnie here, back with this brand new series. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, and you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers, the best way to support us is by hitting that subscribe button now, turning on the post notifications. Videos be coming out of nowhere like an RKO, and of course, you already know, the grind is real. And our 3 hot take topics for this week are Max Dupree's Maximum Male Models, Alan Angel 5's Impact debut, and the last one, can Montez Ford be a big superstar singles competitor? And we're going to be talking about it all here on the first episode of Hot Takes. We're going to be doing these every Sunday morning, early afternoons here on the channel. Try something different. And we want you guys to comment down below some stuff that's going on in the wrestling community that you would like me to talk about here on Hot Takes. Because with this series, I really want to shed light on, topics that maybe the wrestling community is negative towards, and things that, people do not really talk about that much that I kind of want to shed light on. And I'm going to be doing that every Sunday here on the We Are Wrestling channel. So with that being said, let's get into our first hot take for this week. Max Dupree's Maximum Male Models. So, for the last month since WrestleMania, they have been building this new character, Max Dupree, who is formerly known as Eli Drake, LA Knight, and they have given him a character change. And right now, in the universe and the wrestling community, a lot of people are very negative towards it because we all know that LA Knight, Eli Drake, Max Dupree is a main event talent. This guy has lots of charisma, and he could definitely be a world champion in another promotion easily. But we are talking about the WWE, and I, for one, am actually enjoying this character change. And I am not a WWE mark by any means. If you watch, if you listen to the We Are Wrestling talk show and, you watch the content, you know that I call AEW out on the bullshit, and I especially call WWE out on the bullshit. And there's a lot of things I do not like with WWE that I always call out on the bullshit. Literally, I don't even watch Raw anymore. I do not watch SmackDown anymore. What I do, I watch the YouTube clips and I watch highlights of the shows because I just can't watch WWE for some reason. I just don't enjoy the product right now. And for me to admit that this Max Dupree, Maximum Male Models, is actually a good thing that I'm actually enjoying right now is crazy, for me to even say, if you have been seeing the content and my opinions. Here's why I am very open to this new Maximum Male Models. One, it's different. We have not gotten this in WWE. It's different. And when something is different, people do not like it. And I like it because it's something different. Number 2, we are wrestling maniacs, the universe, the wrestling community. We always criticize WWE for lack of legitimate tag teams. And that is something that AEW, on the other hand, on the other station, do not lack whatsoever. They have a stacked tag team division over there. But with WWE, they lack legitimate tag teams. The only 3 that really stand out to me that are legitimate tag teams are the Usos, the Street Profits, and the New Day. And also, I can't forget about the Viking Raiders, which I miss them as War Machine and Ring of Honor. But the three legitimate tag teams. And the problem is with this tag team division in WWE, a lot of these guys just get paired up randomly. And we saw what happened with the women's tag team division. That is what they did. They just, if they didn't have anything for them, they would pair them up. Natalia, Shayna Baszler, they didn't have anything for them. They paired them up. Naomi, Sasha Banks, there was no build-up or anything whatsoever. They had nothing for them. They built them up. And that is what WWE has been doing for years. They even did it, I believe, with Mansoor and Mustafa Ali. They just paired them up randomly, and it all didn't make sense. And for me, I even call AEW out on this when it comes to things that don't make sense, like with the whole Jericho Appreciation Society, when they weren't mentioning Sammy Guevara whatsoever with the feud with Santana and Ortiz and Kingston. I called them out on the bullshit every week. And for me, everything has to make sense because in the wrestling world, it is storytelling. We tell stories, it's rivalries, and it has to make sense because if it doesn't make sense, it just, I just turn off. My brain just shuts off. And so far with this Max Dupree thing, it's been about a month now since they have been building this. They've had, segments backstage with Max Dupree and Adam Pearce, really hyping the Maximum Male Models. And now for the last 2 weeks on SmackDown, we have gotten the Maximum Male Models, and they have been revealed as the former member of Retribution, Mace, who is going by Moss, and Mansoor, who is now going by Mansoor. And here's the thing. Let's be honest here when it comes to Mace and Mansoor. They are not going to be doing anything whatsoever. Unless the only option that they really have is being male models or, going for the 24/7 championship. And I think, having these two, getting this opportunity, I think is a great thing because Mace has always really stood out to me. He's got the size. He is definitely very underrated in the ring. And there's something about him that makes him very underrated. And also Mansoor, he is very good in the ring, but just lacks the character. And I think having a guy like LA Knight, Max Dupree now, by his side is going to bring out that personality in him that we did not get for the last couple years. Because all they really had Mansoor do on TV was be around during the Saudi Arabia shows because he is from that area. I think him being a part of the Maximum Male Models, this is the best way to utilize both of these talents. And so far, the crowd has been reacting. There has been legitimate heat. And that is something that you don't get. Heel 101. And Max Dupree, the man that can spit on the mic, he has been making it work. They've been having Mansoor and Mace come out, doing like the modeling poses and stuff, and it's killing time, which, the fans are just, they don't want it. They want to see freaking Drew McIntyre and Sheamus wrestle for 100 times and the Bloodline. They want to see all that, but then Max Dupree's Maximum Male Models interrupt it, and that is heat. Plus, they are building them as a legitimate tag team. There's a reason behind it. And that is the thing that I really want you guys to consider when you are, hating on the Maximum Male Models. And that is exactly what WWE wants you to do. Because nowadays, we cheer for the heels and we boo the faces. This here, the Maximum Male Models are heels, and people are giving negative feedback towards it. And that is exactly what wrestling is lacking. And in WWE, they are lacking legitimate tag teams. And I think a tag team with a manager, remind you, with a manager. This is something that WWE has been lacking, while on the other station with AEW, every wrestler has a manager. And it gets to the point where it gets sickening. WWE, they're lacking that, and I think having a guy like Max Dupree is a great thing. I would rather have him managing, than friggin' be jobbing after, a month of being pushed. This is the best thing right now for them, and they are definitely going to be future tag team champions. And I am so far enjoying this because it's different. Moving on now to our next hot take this week. Alan Angel 5's Impact debut. So, in case you guys don't know who Alan Angel is, he was a former member of the Dark Order, and his contract expired with AEW, and now he is a free agent, and it looks like he has joined Impact Wrestling, and he is going to be a part of the X Division. So, the first thing I want to point out is when it comes to the reports right now, there are reports out there that Tony Khan is going to be letting go of, AEW Dark and Elevation talent that aren't being utilized on TV. And this is my hot take for this week because I have actually been watching Impact lately. Ever since Slammiversary, I missed that. I have been actually tuning into Impact. I've been watching the highlights and stuff, and so far it's been very enjoyable. I'm trying to give myself the chance to watch the product all the way until Bound for Glory, and then after Bound for Glory, I will make my decision if I'm going to tune into Impact or not. But so far, I've actually been enjoying it, and here's my hot take. With the talent that are not being used properly in AEW, like Alan Angel 5, who, if you have watched his work on Dark Elevation, and even some of the matches that he put on Dynamite, one in particular, Alan Angel versus Kenny Omega. If you have not watched that match, you gotta go back and you gotta check it out. I think that Impact Wrestling and WWE are really going to be paying close attention to these underrated talent. And I think Impact especially are going to be bringing in more guys that aren't being utilized in AEW, and they are going to strive in Impact. I think adding Alan Angels to the X division is going to be underratedly a W, because that is one of the most prestigious divisions in wrestling, is the X division, that we really do not shed light on anymore because Impact isn't as popular as it once was. The X division is one of the most iconic divisions in all of wrestling, and having a guy like Alan Angels who can work in the ring, he's a great high flyer, and he has lots of potential to be something in this business, because you have to remember, he is only 25 years old. This is such a huge W for Impact, because in AEW they weren't really using him that much. He was just an extra, and now after that match that he put on with Speedball, I really hope that Impact has signed him to a multi-year deal, because having him a part of that underrated stacked X division is a huge W by itself. And I think with my hot take for this week, and I hope someone clips this, the underrated talent that are in AEW that are going to be getting let go pretty soon once their contracts expire, they are going to be more successful outside of AEW, whether it's WWE or Impact. And I think Alan Angels is going to be the start of that trend right there. Our last topic for hot takes this week is Montez Ford. Can he be a big singles star in the business? Because this week we saw Angelo Dawkins, the other member of the Street Profits, go on this interview, and pretty much he's been pissed off about people, pushing Montez Ford more than him, because Montez Ford stands out more, because he's the vocal piece, while Angelo Dawkins is the one that, does the work. And here's my hot take. A lot of people say that Montez Ford is going to be that next guy. He is going to be world champion. And I don't think so. And here's why. The reason why I say Montez Ford is not going to be that is because anytime WWE splits up a tag team, not just a tag team, a legitimate tag team, they always try to push the other person. And usually about 85-90% of the time, it never works out. Let's go back into history a little bit. I'm not going to go way out of history, but remember that time in the WWE draft in 2002 when they split the Dudley Boys up? It looked like Devon was going to get a massive push as Reverend Devon, while Bubba was just doing the Hardcore Championship and didn't get it over. Very underrated, but the Reverend Devon character did not get over, so they had to put the group back together. It's rare when something like that happens. Like Edge and Christian being split, both of them have been very successful. The Hardys have been split. They have been very successful. But I don't see that with Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. I don't see that whatsoever, and I think maybe that's because in WWE, they are lacking legitimate tag teams. Maybe I don't want to see that happen because of that. I enjoy the Street Profits. I think what they have going on is great, and don't fix something that's not broken. I think that having Angelo Dawkins as like the mouthpiece and like having Montez Ford, as the mouthpiece, and having Angelo Dawkins, be the quiet one, it works. Just like the New Age Outlaws. That's who they remind me of a lot, is the New Age Outlaws. Road Dogg, he was the mouthpiece for the New Age Outlaws. And Billy Gunn, he was just the guy next to Road Dogg. And that is the situation that Angelo Dawkins is in. He is the Billy Gunn to Montez Ford. Just like Billy Gunn is, Road Dogg. But that's the thing. It works. So why fix something that's not broken? I think, Montez Ford is very talented. The charisma is there. Everything is there. But usually when they, split tag teams up like that, legitimate tag teams, like I said, it doesn't work out all the time. And that is something that I don't want to happen because these two are both very, very talented. And I think here's the thing. I think that the Street Profits, yes, they do need more competition. And that is where WWE, they have to make more legitimate tag teams. Let me know in the comment section below what your guys' thoughts are on these 3 hot takes that I gave, because maybe I am wrong. I am always open to, discussions and, conversations about wrestling. That is why I made this We Are Wrestling channel. But if you guys enjoy this new series, make sure to smash that like button now. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, and you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers, the best way to support us is by hitting that subscribe button now, turning on the post notifications. The links are down in the description below. You can go follow We Are Wrestling over on Instagram and Twitter, and my other YouTube channels and my other social medias. You can go follow me on there. All the links are down below. And of course, to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, we are taking over. Peace. Every Tuesday, we have a show called the We Are Wrestling Talk Show, where we talk about wrestling topics. And this week, on the We Are Wrestling Talk Show, this Tuesday, Danny and I, we talk about one of the most underrated championships in the Attitude Era, the Hardcore Championship. We talk about the 24/7 rule. We talk about some of the best hardcore wrestlers that were around that time, like Crash Holly and Raven. It is an awesome discussion that you are not going to want to miss. It will be premiering on the We Are Wrestling channel this Tuesday.